One of the reasons I was elected was because you believed that I was going to pick great Supreme Court justices. And Brett Kavanaugh, and I'm not saying anything about anybody else, but I want to tell you that Brett Kavanaugh is one of the finest human beings you will ever have the privilege of knowing or meeting. So we got to let it play out.
That was President Trump at last night's rally, touting his pick for the Supreme Court. But the showdown over Brett Kavanaugh continues to heat up. His accuser now says that she is willing to testify next week, but on Thursday, and is insisting on other conditions, including Blasey Ford will only take questions from members of the Senate Judiciary Committee, not lawyers. Brett Kavanaugh cannot be in the room when she testifies, and Kavanaugh must testify first, so not after his accuser. Joining us now, Washington Examiner editorial director Hugo Gurdon. Hugo, that last item about Kavanaugh must go first, at least among legal minds, seems like a big, big hurdle to overcome.
I think it is. It's very unusual for someone who makes an allegation to insist that somebody go and defend themselves before they hear what the allegation amounts to. I mean, certainly if you're in court, the case is made by the prosecution before the case opens for the defense. So it seems to me grotesquely unfair and improper, really, to suggest that Kavanaugh should go in front of the court, not the court, sorry, the panel, and answer questions, and they don't know what further questions might arise. I think it's up to the accuser to make the case, and then for the defendant to answer the case.
Emily Jasinski is here. Hugo. Emily.
Hey, Hugo. Good to see you.
Hi, Emily.
Hey, a good question here is this, are we seeing, pardon the phrase, maybe some art of the deal acting from the accuser's side here? Are they playing hardball? Is this part of a negotiation, throwing these terms that the Judiciary Committee probably will not agree to out on the table, and then we're just going to continue to watch this unravel all week? Or is this, you know, a really serious roadblock that's probably going to prevent the testimony from taking place?
It's a very good question. I think it's very hard to tell whether or not the testimony will ever be given. I think the fact that the Democrats and the accuser, Dr. Ford, are saying Thursday, close to the end of the week, could be some little hiccup, push it into the following week. The whole play here for the Democrats has always been that no matter what the question is, the answer is always delay. They want to push the vote on the nomination beyond the next election. They want to derail this nomination. They do not want Kavanaugh on the court because he's a textualist and he interprets the Constitution. When he's examining cases, he looks at what the Constitution says. He doesn't go by his own political views. They don't want that on the court, so they don't want him there, and they don't want the nomination to go ahead. So everything has been about delay. I think there's a lot of political gamesmanship here, and without wanting to cast aspersions on whether or not Dr. Ford was assaulted all those years ago, perhaps there was such an incident. Kavanaugh has denied categorically that he was involved, yet the accusation is playing into a Democratic playbook, which is about delaying the hearings.
Well, in terms of the politics, Hugo, Kimberly Strassel has a column today, and the title of it is in the Wall Street Journal, "The GOP Can't Win for Losing," and she asserts that a Kavanaugh defeat would demoralize the Republican base, not energize it. So since the Democrats have turned these accusations into such a political issue, how do you see it for the Republicans at the moment?
Now, I think that that's a very good point. There's a real problem here, and that is for the Republicans, and that is that the Democrats have already won something by this. This plays well into the way that they want to approach the midterm elections. There will be this question mark hanging over Kavanaugh and therefore over the Republicans if he moves forward, or if the nomination somehow gets derailed. So this has already played well for the Democrats, and they will push this as hard as possible. You know, it's quite possible that Kavanaugh will be appointed, that the nomination will go ahead, he will be confirmed. But even if that's the case, this has helped the Democrats in the way that they want to portray the Republicans in November for the midterm elections.
Yeah, and potentially, you know, harming a man's life and using a woman as a political pawn. Turning to the controversy over the Russia investigation, Nellie Orr, the wife of Justice Department official Bruce Orr, a Fusion GPS employee, now refusing to voluntarily appear before House committees, according to Fox News. Lawmakers say a subpoena is on the table. This as the president has pushed to declassify some of the documents as we still try to uncover what was the root of this Russia investigation. How did it all get started in 2016? What do you make of this?
Well, you know, the investigators want to put the whole picture together. They've already had Bruce Orr testify. They know that he was a conduit from Christopher Steele, the British spy, to the FBI. There were, I think it was 60 different contacts that he had with Christopher Steele after Christopher Steele was supposedly fired by the FBI. Nellie Orr worked for Fusion GPS. Fusion GPS was the firm hired ultimately by the Clinton campaign to dig up dirt, and Christopher Steele was supplying dirt. So obviously, Nellie Orr's role in this is something which congressional investigators want to look at and they want to know about. Not surprising that she would refuse to testify. Not surprising that the response is, well, we're going to subpoena you. We want to hear what you were doing.
It really is incredible because based on, again, Kimberly Strassel was reporting that Bruce Orr told Congress, congressional investigators, that he did warn the FBI about Steele being conflicted and that his motives were to prevent Donald Trump from becoming the president, that he told them about where his wife worked and they still went ahead. They still moved ahead and never disclosed any of this. Hugo, thank you so much. Hugo Gurdon.
Thank you.